Since the COVID-19 outbreak caused a travel ban on March 14th, many students have been sent home from their semesters studying abroad early.
In Hamburg, Germany, and I had to scramble to find a flight home by Friday, March 13th at midnight after Trump announced the travel ban Wednesday evening.
This leaves these students wondering when they will get the chance to go back. The good news is that some countries are looking to resume traveling for tourism soon. These include Thailand, France, Greece, and Spain. I asked Dr. Gomes Izquierdo, a Spaniard, to describe how Spain will be reopening.
So July 1st is the cutoff date. What that means is that at the time being, for the month of June, there are restrictions. That means that people entering Spain have to go through 14 days of quarantine. Whether tourists or citizens or whoever comes into or through the border of Spain, they have to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. But after July 1st, the government has passed a new law because tourism is very big in Spain. Tourism accounts for upwards of 12% of the GDP. So they need to have a tourism season. The government has acted on that. And after July 1st, there will be no quarantine requirement. So tourists can come into Spain with no quarantine requirement. Of course, if you are from the Schengen area, from one of the European Union countries in the Schengen area, then you don't need passports. If you're an American citizen, you do need a passport and a visa, except for tourists. Tourists don't need a visa. You have a 90-day period.
Each country has their own prerequisites and stipulations about who can cross their borders. A major factor is the country that you are coming from and how their situation is. For example, Germany is only allowing members of the EU in, and considering countries such as Turkey, UK, and Iceland for their ability to flatten the curve. However, that does not mean that all students will have the possibility to return soon, as some countries are only opening their borders for business or to visit family.
Soon, I would assume, because the restrictions have to do with quarantine rather than the prohibition of entering or not entering. So as far as I understand, students can come in starting July 1st with no requirement for quarantine because this rule would apply to them as well. As long as they maintain the social distancing and they follow government guidelines in terms of health, there should be no issue with that.
With the uncertainty of when students can travel abroad, some other options are available. Arcadia University is offering a virtual Europe tour where an instructor can teach a classroom from London, Dublin, Barcelona, and more at the cost of $1,500 per course.
Virtually studying abroad wouldn't be able to give you the immersion into the culture that studying abroad is all about.
Until the curve of COVID-19 cases is flattened globally, there is no telling when students will be able to study abroad again freely. This has been Trent Gross with IEP TV.